Welcome to week 6. This week we will talk about price analysis, cost analysis, and cost realism analysis. What is the right price? And how do you know if you're getting the right price? The right price is often defined as a price that will give you the right quantity from the right source with the required quality at the right time and the right place, fit for the intended purpose, and includes the allowable and allocable cost elements. And how do you know when you get a how do you know when you are getting the right price? To start to understand this, you need to conduct a price or cost analysis, perhaps both. Price analysis is defined as the process of deciding if the asking price for a product, service, or program is fair and reasonable, without examining the specific cost elements and profit the vendor used in arriving at the price. You should perform a price analysis on all contractor proposals. There are several techniques for performing a price analysis. The first is a comparison of competitive bids. This is completed when prices submitted by 3 or more offerers for the same product or services are received. A quick comparison will allow you to see if there is a huge disparity in the pricing. You can conduct a comparison of prior quotations. These quotations must be recent or within the past 24 months for price quotations for the same product or services. Another method is comparison of published price lists. This can be accomplished when established catalog prices exist. The items are commercial in nature, the items are sold in substantial quantities, and the items are sold to the general public. You can perform a price analysis when the price is set by law or regulation. You can request a copy of the rate schedules set by the applicable law. You can request a copy of the rate schedules set by the applicable law or regulation, verify that they apply to your situation, and then you can verify you are being charged the correct price. Generally, utility contracts fall into this type of analysis. This policy applies to only You can perform a similar item comparison. In this situation, the items must be similar to those being purchased. This can include items that may be unique. And finally, you can perform a rough yardstick comparison. This comparison is between like items based on measurable similarities, such as price per pound or cost per square foot. The review and evaluation of the separate elements of cost, including profit or fee, in the offeror's proposal to determine if the projected price is fair and reasonable is the act of performing a cost analysis. You must use cost analysis to evaluate the reasonableness of cost elements when cost or pricing data are required. You must perform a price analysis even when you perform a cost analysis. And assuming the reasonableness of individual cost elements does not always assure the overall price reasonableness. The solicitation must specify whether cost or pricing data are required. It must state that the offeror may submit a request for exemption from It must state that the offeror may submit a request for exception from a requirement. The solicitation must state whether information other than cost or pricing data is required, if cost or pricing data are not necessary. The solicitation must state whether information other than cost or pricing data is required if cost or pricing data are not necessary. The solicitation must state whether pre-award or post-award access to offerors' records is necessary. The solicitation should state the format required for submission of the cost or pricing data or information other than cost or pricing data. The government cost analysis information begins with market research by examining related contract files, relevant audits, and technical reports. A cost realism analysis is the process of independently reviewing and evaluating the specific elements of an offeror's proposed cost estimate to determine whether the cost is realistic for the work to be performed, reflects a clearer understanding of the requirements, and is consistent with the unique methods of performance and materials described in the offeror's technical proposal. You will perform a cost realism analysis on cost reimbursement contracts to determine the probable cost of performance for each offeror. You will perform a cost realism analysis on a competitive fixed price incentive and fixed price type contracts when requirements may not be fully understood by competing offerors. Cost realism analysis is important because it can help you determine whether costs may be over or understated. In some instances, an understated contract price is a conscientious effort and can be a strategy for a potential contractor to get their foot in the door, so to say. A cost realism analysis can help you identify unrealistically low offers or where the industry may have a lack of understanding of the contract requirements. It can help bring to the forefront if a potential contractor did not properly coordinate proposal preparation. Some key factors that affect a cost realism analysis are the maturity of the product, service, solution, complexity of the product, service, or solution, contract performance period or schedule, stakes of contract outcome, relative experience of offerors with same or similar scope of work. Some key factors that affect a cost realism analysis are the maturity of the product, service, or solution, complexity of the product, service, or solution, contract period of performance or schedule, stakes of contract outcome, relative experience of offerors with the same or similar scope of work, past experience with offerors, and financial condition of offerors. Obviously, there are many other factors that can limit the effectiveness of a cost realism analysis. This list is just some of the most common.